of mankind. Turkana County, according to proven history, it has been found that all human beings who even live in the United States of America or elsewhere, all of them originated or came from Turkana County.
The Kenya Forest Service invites all parents and guardians to the passing out parade for the Forest Rangers recruits on 11th of October 2023 at the National Youth Service Gilgil from 7 a.m. The new Forest Rangers will greatly contribute to the Kenya Forest Service mandate of conserving, protecting and sustainably managing forest resources for the benefit of all Kenyans. The Kenya Forest Service, towards 30% tree cover by 2032. Wajibu wa kila Mkenya.
Polio is still a threat in our country, Kenya, after confirmation of a polio outbreak in Garissa County. Polio has no cure and can only be eradicated through vaccination. The Ministry of Health, with support from partners, will be conducting polio vaccination campaign in 10 high-risk counties. These are Garissa, Kiambu, Kajiado, Machakos, Kitui, Mandera, Wajir, Lamu, Tana River and Nairobi from Saturday 7th October to Wednesday 11th October 2023. Health teams will be moving door-to-door vaccinating all children under 5 years in all 10 counties except Fathi and the Dab sub-counties where all children below 15 years, including the refugee camps. Polio is a crippling disease and all children under 5 years, especially those who have not completed their immunization schedule, are at risk of getting polio. Parents and guardians are requested to ensure their children are at home during the campaign period. Those who are missed during the house visits should get the polio vaccine at the nearest public health facility. Parents should ensure children get the vaccine in this and every campaign, as additional doses provide additional immunity. Polio and all other vaccines given in Kenya have been tested and are safe and effective. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in collaboration with UNICEF, WHO, and partners.
Good evening, the 8th of October 2023. You're tuned to Sunday Express, where we keep you informed on what has been happening locally, regionally, and internationally. Being October, it is a Cancer Awareness Month, and tonight we're going to be talking about breast cancer, but in men. It may be rare, but men also are susceptible to breast cancer. That's a conversation we're going to be having in the course of this particular programming, so do stay with us. But first things first, let us look at the stories that have been making headlines in the last 12 hours.
He's crushed the world record, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing finish. Incredible. 2 hours and 35 seconds, I believe.
Kenya does it again. Kelvin Kiptum sets a new men's marathon world record in the streets of Chicago.
Watu wote ambao wamechangia hii maneno, mambo yao ni matatu. Hakuna story nyingine.
Saving the sugar sector. Reprieve for cane farmers in the Sony sugar belt as the government commits to turn around the troubled industry. And we are coming for you. CS Kindiki warns the merchants of death in Lamu that their days are numbered.
I'm Regina Manyara. You're watching Sunday Express, and my colleague on sign language is none other than Madam Anne Wangeshi there. Now we start off with good news, where Kenya's Kelvin Kiptum has set the new men's marathon world record after clocking 2 hours, 0 minutes and 35 seconds to win the 2023 Chicago Marathon. Kiptum broke the countryman Eliud Kipchoge's world record of 2 hours, 1 minute and 9 seconds set in the 2022 Berlin Marathon.
Became the first man in history to run under 2 hours and 1 minute as he crossed the finish line in 2 hours and 35 seconds ahead of compatriot and defending champion Benson Kipruto, while Belgium's Bashir Abdi completed the podium places in 2 hours, 4 minutes and 32 seconds.
World record, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing finish. Incredible. 2 hours and 35 seconds, I believe. Amazing.
Yes, I saw the time in front of me. I said, let me try. Maybe I can run under 2:00.
Kiptum has run 3 career marathons, all in the last 10 months, and posted 3 of the 6 fastest times in history. He has supplanted the 38-year-old Kipchoge as the world's best marathoner. Kipchoge, who held that distinction for most of the last decade, bids next to become the first person to win 3 Olympic marathons. Kipchoge is the only person known to have run the 42-kilometer race in under 2 hours, but it was not done in a record-eligible race. Dutch Sifan Hassan registered second fastest women's marathon time in history as she won the women's race in 2 hours, 13 minutes and 44 seconds.
Fantastic time. Amazing time here.
Missing the world record by 2 minutes. Defending champion Kenya's Ruth Chepngetich finished second in 2 hours, 15 minutes and 37 seconds as Ethiopia's Megertu Alemu was third in 2 hours, 17 minutes and 9 seconds. Bernard Okumu, Sunday Express.
Congratulations there. Indeed, Kenya making to the charts globally for the right reasons. We also have an update with the under-20. Just probably, in my own opinion, is that under-20 team should be maintained and maybe replace Harambee Stars in future. Well, we will have those details with Bernardo Kumu as he brings us up to speed with what has been happening in the sporting arena. Now, President William Ruto is yet again up in arms with sugar barons that he says have taken the government and the sugarcane farmers hostage. The president says the known individuals had refused to pay farmers for years, even after making a kill from the produce and using the courts as a shield. The president, who spoke in a meeting with sugarcane farmers in Awendo, Migori County, however, reiterated the government's plan to write off 117 billion shillings accrued in arrears as the sugarcane companies are put under a leasing program. Gavison Minor now reports.
President William Ruto on Sunday fired yet another warning to sugar cartels that he said took sugarcane from farmers without paying them.
Hatuwezi kuendelea ati sasa tukuje tuanze tena baada ya mwaka moja, mwaka mbili, mwaka tatu turudi hapa tena, wakulima hawajalipwa, wafanyikazi hawajalipwa, tafuta pesa ya serikali. Hiyo mimi siwezi fanya. Si ndio? Hawa watu wote ambao wamechangia hii maneno, mambo yao ni matatu. Hakuna story nyingine.
In a meeting with sugarcane farmers at Sony Sugar Company in Awendo, Migori County, the president, however, said the government will write off the debts owed by the sugar millers to the tune of 117 billion Kenyan shillings.
Tutalipa wakulima wote wa hapa Sony, wa Chemelil, wa Muhoroni, wa Nzoia na hata huko Mumias. Wakulima wote tutawalipa pesa zao.
The president's warning rekindling uproar over controversial 3 conditions he had spelled to sugar barons, amongst them Jaswant Rai, that he said were conning the farmers of their sweat while hiding in courts.
Mimi nimepatia hiyo watu warning. The people who have taken the sugar sector hostage, and we know them. The people who normally go to court to block any meaningful transformation of our sugarcane sector. We want to give them a warning from Migori that this time round, tutaonana na nyinyi macho kwa macho.
In the weeks to come, the head of state said a directive will be issued on how to revive the stalled sugar factories. He, however, was categorical that the sugar companies will not be privatized, but will instead be put under leasing agreements.
We are going to have a leasing program where we are going to have a company that is going to make sure they pay the workers, they pay the farmers, na vile vile lazima tuanze kupata pesa ya wananchi wa Migori kutoka hii kampuni.
The president's sentiments were backed by Migori Governor Chiloyako and area lawmakers.
In order for these people to get services, we resolved as governors of Azimio that we cannot take the nation backwards. We will work with the national government, and the national government will work with us. And that work, sio siasa. Our prayer and our dream is that this factory can get us to those yesteryears when the farmers here hawatakuwa wanasumbua waheshimiwa, hawatakuwa wanasumbua governor ku mambo ya school fees, lakini wakilima miwa iletwe hapo.
The National Assembly has already passed a bill proposing the introduction of a sugar development levy on imported sugar to boost local sugar farming. Giverson Minor, Sunday Express.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is assuring Kenyans that the government is intact and focused on delivering on its development agenda. Speaking at the Kapsabet Showground, Nandi County, the Deputy President said they will not be distracted in their quest to deliver on the promises made during the campaigns.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was in Kapsabet, Nandi County to support fundraising activities as well as seek divine intervention at ACK Church. Rigathi assured Kenyans that there is no division in the government and the leadership is focused on delivering its promises.
Please don't waste your time. There will be no division in this government. President William Ruto and I talk the same language. We consult, we agree, and we move on. And the president is taking us to the right place.
The deputy president says they are fully behind the president and will accord him all the support he requires to deliver on his agenda. Rigathi says he did not have a problem with opposition supporters throwing their weight behind the president, saying he serves all Kenyans.
Ile bidii wako nayo ya kuingia kwa serikali na kuuliza maneno. Kama hiyo bidii wangetuwekea kwa kura tungeshinda na kula milioni 10. But we are saying they are welcome because the president is president of the whole country. But in that government lazima kuwe na wakili ya kutetea ile watu walipigia William kura.
Hiyo propaganda mnasikia mambo ya mlima. Naibu wa rais ameshikilia mlima sawa na mlima anaiunganisha na mlima mahali ipo leo tunasonga. Ilipiga kura dhuruthi 87, lakini sasa hivi na uhakikishia tukienda 2027 tutaipiga 100%.
We have absolute faith in your leadership and the president. We have. Nimeona wengine wameandika kunaendaje? Kunaenda kuzuri kwa sababu Kenya uchumi inaenda kwenda mbele.
Even if we are speaking separately, we are saying the same thing. Tunasema kitu kimoja. Nasema wewe rais enda msituni. Utafute huko ile watu walipotea mizio ile yote unaweza lete, chukua, tafuta na ukaunganisha Kenya, na kwa sababu hao wanalipa kodi uwafanyie kazi. Lakini ngome lako la Mount Kenya na Rift Valley ikuwe inachungwa. Unajua mimi nasema wacha mimi nitegemea ile iko kwa mko. Si ile iko msituni rais atafute. Mimi wacha nichunge ile iko nyumba.
On the war against alcohol and substance abuse, the DP warned administrators who have failed to deal with the vices in their areas of jurisdiction, saying action will be taken. Gishoki Washira, Sunday Express.
The government has identified and intends to publish the main suspects behind the spate of brutal killings that have continued to be witnessed in Lamu County. Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has ordered the suspects to surrender to the nearest police station before the government pursues them. Kindiki has also promised a special reward for any information that can lead to the arrest of the suspected criminals.
In
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki says the government will deal decisively with the main suspects who have been perpetrating the killings of innocent Kenyans on grounds of religion and historical injustices in Lamu County.
Wale watu wazisalamishe, na wasipozisalamisha tutawatafuta. Tukiwapata tutamalizana na hao.
On the Haiti mission, where Kenya intends to send 1,000 police officers to restore law and order, the Cabinet Secretary says the government is committed to doing everything by the book.
Article 240 of the Constitution requires for the President to deploy any forces outside the country, whether it is Kenya Defense Forces or any other forces that constitute organs of national security. Parliament must approve.
Speaking in Kiambu County, where he attended a Sunday service at St. Andrew's SEK in Denderu, Professor Kindiki also issued a stern warning to those he said are posing like community elders, yet they carry out cultic activities in Kiambu County.
Mahali ambapo hawa watu wanakutana sana sana sehemu ya Githongori pale Ikinu, na hapa Kiambu town pale Nduberi, sehemu hizo zifungwe mara moja.
Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
The government says it will regulate privately owned children's homes to curb exploitation and child trafficking. Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Florence Bore says a measure will be undertaken over the next 8 years that such homes have been before their closure. Speaking at the Child Welfare Society of Kenya runs children's home in Kisii, Bore said that the Children's Act of 2022 had given the private homes 10 years to close down, of which 2 had already lapsed.
We have said as government, we have the Children's Act 2022 that has given the private children's homes to close down in the next 8 years. They were given a grace period of 10 years. 2 years have passed. We are remaining with 8 more years. And we want to say we appreciate the work that they have done to take in the children and take care of them. But as a policy, as a government, we want to say children should be taken care of in a government children's home or institution.
The spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, has defended the Deputy President's style of leadership, saying that he is a good leader who means well for the country. Speaking at the PCA Kiburine in Nyeri County, Pastor Dorcas said Deputy President has beat the odds to occupy the second highest office in the land.
And he's a good leader. And he's going to lead. We are on our knees. Yes, they said he will not get there. He's there by the grace of God.
To say in a very specific way that we are solidly behind President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, wakiwa na wakiwa na Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua. We can see a joint ticket na tuko pale.
Now we take our first breather, but remember, conversation tonight will be about breast cancer in men. The prevalence may be low, however, it's still not a gender issue when it comes to matters of cancer. So do stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Nchi yetu inaandamwa na kolera, inaharisha na kutapisha inao.
Je, unajua kuna mkurupuko wa kolera nchini? Kolera inasababisha kuharisha, kutapika na inaua haraka. Yoyote aliye na dalili hizo apewe ORS au maji mengi na apelekwe hospitalini apate matibabu haraka. Ingawa kolera ni hatari, kuitwanga ni rahisi. Kwanza, tumia choo kujisaidia wakati wote. Pili, osha mikono na sabuni na maji safi kwenye nyakati muhimu. Tatu, zingatia usafi wa chakula. Osha na upike chakula vizuri. 4. Kunywa maji yaliyotibiwa au kuchemshwa pekee. Jamii inakutegemea. Jilinde na ulinde jamii yako. Zingatia usafi ili ujali watu wako. Sote tuko na jukumu la kuangamiza kolera. Wanafunzi, walimu na vijana, wamama na wazee. Tutwange kolera.
Tuache kudanganyana. Hapa mali safi, mali mbichi, kijani kibichi. Tuko Lucky Game, tunashibishana. Dial *570#. Chagua sanduku ya Lucky Game. Utapata sanduku 7 zinakungoja mahali pale. Chagua yako. Mali kibao, tuko na viti, tuko na vifriji hapa, tuko na TV, tuko na microwave, na pia tuko na chapa. All happening kwa *570#. Jishibishe.
County Government of Turkana welcomes you to the Ehale Center in Lodwar Town for the 7th edition of the Turkana Cultural and Tourism Festival. From 12th to the 14th of October 2023. Come, experience the origin of mankind with its unmatched beauty, from the beaches of Lake Turkana to the oil wells of Lokichar. Live on Channel 1, Radio Taifa and KBC Turkana Service.
You're watching Sunday Express. Now, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has hailed the Ma community for the unity and peace exhibited as they celebrate their cultural events. Speaking when he officially closed the Maralal Camel Derby, Mudavadi urged the residents to continue living in harmony and jealously guard their culture. Serafina Robi is in Maralal and brings us the sights and sounds of the last day of the Derby.
Song, dance and color characterized the final day of the Maralal International Camel Derby.
21-kilometer professional camel race is the most anticipated for by the International Camel Derby enthusiasts.
Over 6,000 people who attended the 3-day feat waited and cheered for the winners.
I didn't believe I was winning because I thought there's others that have finished ahead of me. But then when I was given the number 1 token, I was like, what? This is me. And the guy was like, the winner is Australian. I was like, no, I'm Kenyan.
Mara tatu sasa. Sasa hiyo nika. Sasa ninahisi sasa juu ni kitu nimetrain. Sasa sasa ndio ile utafikia. Si usuri. Si rahisi. Utakuwa na kiu. Hata utapita mamitaro.
Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign Affairs CS held the Ma culture events.
Hiyo ni ile mawe tatu hapo kwa boma. Musijaribu kutoa hata moja. Tunaelewana kabisa? Kwa sababu mumesimama na mnatuonyesha barabara nzuri.
Hiyo tutakuwa hapa tena mpaka hii jamii yetu ya Ma wakuwe kitu kimoja.
Katika kaunti zetu sote 47 tunataka kuanzisha kila jamii ama kila kaunti wako na kitu ambayo ni muhimu ambayo sisi tunasherehekea.
The Kenya Tourism Board is called on all counties to tap into tourism and use it to grow the economy.
Elements that we are looking at, not just to invest for now, but how to sustainably make what we have as Kenya work for the people of Kenya, work for the communities, businesses, and really the greater good of the nation.
Local Derby has been a wonderful addition to their social and economic activities.
We're just so happy that even with a short notice after the cancellation, people still arrived in great numbers. We want it to be consistent every year, the way it was before Corona.
Organizers say the International Camel Derby will be celebrated annually, with the next date set to be announced.
The Maralal International Camel Derby comes to a close, but the song, dance and color continues. Serafina Robi from Maralal, Samburu County.
And from Maralal, we're also going to be keeping tabs on the Turkana festival that is set for this week. So we'll be talking about culture and tradition and why we need to actually diversify and invest more in that particular niche. We change tact, and tonight we're talking about breast cancer in men. And my guest is in studio. That is none other than Dr. Catherine Nyongesa, a clinical and radiation oncologist. Good evening. Karibu sana, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I know from an oncologist point of view, when I say the term breast cancer in men, often we think that the breast cancer can only happen to women. Now, let's unpack that.
So, we all human beings, when we are born with some breast tissue. So, anyone with a breast can get cancer. And so men and women can both get breast cancer. Just that women have more breast tissues and more differences in hormones. And that's why it is reported more in women. In fact, in our country, we see that over 6,788 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year, out of which 1% is the one afflicting men. So breast cancer in men, yes, it occurs, but it's very rare.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Now, there's the issue of prevention. We've seen a series of campaigns on about checking for lumps within or on the breast. But we've also seen men lacking in this conversation when it comes to prevention or early detection of breast cancer. What do you think is holding back the men folk from participating in these campaigns?
So, as I mentioned, breast cancer in men is very rare. So, most authorities do not recommend mass screening for men because out of about over 800 people you see, or 800 men you see, only one might get breast cancer in their lifetime. But it does occur. So what we want is to create awareness that they should be more self-aware of their breast health, how their breast normally looks like, and if they see any slight changes, they seek medical help. Because there's a perception that breast cancer only affects women and thus it's a women issue. The truth is that a few men can also be affected. There are those who have a very high risk because of family history of breast cancer, or they have inherited some genes in their family. We call them breast cancer.
So there are traits that
genes.
actually make you susceptible to breast cancer as a man.
Yes.
Let's go through them.
So those kind of risk factors include maybe there's a strong family history of breast cancer in your family.
Male or female, or just
it
breast cancer?
It doesn't matter because we have what you call breast cancer causing genes that can run in family. Or maybe you've had radiation to the chest wall for other issues. Probably you have weight issues and use of tobacco. They can put you at a higher risk. Having said that, no one really knows for most people if you get cancer. Sometimes it can come due to some changes in your genes which you cannot tell what really caused it. The genes somehow mutate or they go haywire, they become corrupt and start sending very weird signals to your normal cells of the body to divide. And for the breast tissue, the cells will divide without stopping. Those cells will not die when they are supposed to die. They form a growth or a mass, and this can break off, get into the blood and spread to other parts of the body, which we call metastasis.
So what are the telltale signs? Do they vary between men and women, or are they within the same scope?
Apparently, the signs and symptoms for both male and woman breast cancer, they are very similar. It's just that because the men have less breast tissue, the cancer spreads much faster than in women. and majority of them it's detected late. One of the signs include changing in the skin. Either the skin darkens, it becomes red, or it becomes like an orange peel, which means it looks like it has a lot of dots or pins and needles that have pricked your breast. You may have a nipple retraction, the nipple pulls inward. There could be a lump, and this lump, if left unattended, can form a wound or an ulcer. Sometimes they may have glands swelling in the armpit or above the collarbone. Those are called lymph nodes. And with the time, this cancer can spread to other parts of the body, and the patient might present with coughing if it goes to the lung, chest pain. They can also have abdominal pain because the liver organ can be affected. It can go to the bones, to the brain. Yeah.
Now, we have heard that, in the course of treatment, other than, chemo, we also have radiation. There's also, losing the breast in its entirety. You've said that men, unlike women, have less breast tissue. What happens in the course of this treatment? Do men also lose their breasts?
Yes, it depends on the stage of the disease. So one can have surgery if it's still early stage 1 and 2, which means it hasn't spread much. And if it's locally advanced, it's bigger, the doctor can give you chemotherapy to shrink it, then you can go for surgery. The surgery may involve breast conserving, whereby they remove a small amount of breast, but because men tend to have very small breast tissue, most of the time they will undergo a mastectomy, which means the whole breast comes out. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you may have adjuvant treatment, which means there will be additional treatment on top of the surgery. For example, chemotherapy, you may have radiotherapy and hormonal therapy. Really, the standard treatment is almost similar to women, but it all varies with the stage. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The cost of treatment also for cancer is not as cheap. It is far from the reach of a majority. There have been conversations to have, NHIF also carries some cost implications other than that. From where you sit as an oncologist, what recommendations would you give to actually make cancer treatment, irrespective of whether it's breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, or cancer treatment in the country, more affordable?
So it takes responsibility on all of us, the people, the government. For it to be more affordable, we need more people to enroll on the insurance. You can have an HIF, and if you have an opportunity to get an additional insurance, you can enroll on it. If it's in the household, maybe both the husband and the wife can both get cards so that they can supplement each other in terms of need. People should not wait when they are falling sick before they seek for insurance. And also we lobby that universal health care, whereby whether you can afford, you have NHIF or you don't have, it can support you. Mm-hmm. And we are also lobbying for the government to have the devolved health care, whereby you don't have to travel to the national hospital for the same. Probably simple things can be handled at the county, and this can reduce the financial burden on the patient.
Yeah. There's an issue of capacity as an oncologist. Do you think we have the requisite capacity to deal with, the increased prevalence of cancer in the country, as statistics show us?
There's a lot of work that is going on. People may not be aware, but as a country, we have developed a lot of capacity. I can't say we are 100% there, but we've made major steps. For example, we are training locally oncologists, nurses, doctors, medical physicists, surgeons, radiologists, name it. Cancer care is multidisciplinary. So it involves all these disciplines to come together to support. With the devolution of healthcare, we also have specialties in the counties. Not in all of them, but in most of the counties. For example, surgery can be done at the county level. We also have chemotherapy administration centers close to 10 spread across the country. We have radiotherapy units also in some counties like Garissa, Nakuru, Eldoret, and Mombasa. And then we do have National Cancer Treatment Center. These are comprehensive centers. We have the Kenyatta National Hospital, Kenyatta Teaching and Referral Hospital, the KU, and we have Moi Teaching and Referral. So there's a lot of that is going on. Major universities, the big ones, we talk of the University of Nairobi, is a training hub for this human resource. Moi University is also training. Jomo Kenyatta University is also coming up in supporting just human resource. The technical university, just to improve on the same.
But then we are still seeing a majority of people opting to seek cancer treatment outside the country. What could be the issue? Because clearly you've told us it's not the issue of lacking capacity to deal with cancer treatment. What could be leading people outside to seek treatment, cancer treatment?
I think everybody has a right to be treated wherever they feel, and if they can afford it, I think it's quite in order. Majority of the patients are still being treated locally. There are few who are traveling out either because that is their wish, which is okay, and sometimes because that treatment is not locally available in the country, very highly specialized treatment, and those are few cases, maybe less than 10%, but over 90% of the cancer patients are getting treatment locally.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about breast cancer, often it's frowned upon. As an oncologist within this particular value chain, how are you handling stigma that comes with breast cancer, especially in men?
One is just to create awareness that it is a disease just like any other disease, and if a man has that kind of disease, then they need help. They need both financial help and social help, just to stay the support of the family for them to go through this journey of the cancer treatment. And number two, that it is not like witchcraft, that actually cancer can occur and it can affect men also, and treatment is available. The other thing is that men should not ignore, because they think this is a woman thing, and
yes, actually breast cancer is more seen like a gender issue.
Yes. So we encourage them that if you note anything changing in your breast, just be aware that it could be breast cancer, and the more you let it stay for long, the chances of cure are also becoming less. So early detection is the key to cure.
Any diagnosis in cancer, irrespective of whether lung, breast cancer, there's this feeling that this is actually a death warrant as an oncologist. So let's hear from you.
Yes, it is not a death warrant. Cancer can be treated. It all depends on the stage. So if you have access to timely treatment, I think it's the right thing to do. And there is misinformation that surgery should not be done, or you have a cancer, it should not be touched. That is not the truth. The research has shown that cancer can be treated by surgery. And we do have men and women who've been treated for cancer, and even children who are living testimony. So people should not fear to go to hospital. They need to go because there is always hope. And the doctor treats and God heals.
October is a cancer awareness month, and we're going to be continuing to raise that awareness. Now, as we come to a close, Dr. Ari, just in quick summary, tell us what are these telltale signs that we should be looking out for?
So for breast cancer, so we look at the breast itself. You need to be aware of your breast. How does it feel and look normally? So if you note any skin dimpling, nipple retraction, either a lump in the breast, lymph nodes in the armpit or above the collarbone, ulceration of the breast, those could be warning signs of breast cancer. And not all lumps in the breast are painful, but it could still be breast cancer, so don't ignore.
Don't ignore. That's the message tonight from radiation oncologist and clinical radiation oncologist, Dr. Catherine Nyongesa. of the Kenyatta National Hospital. There is Cancer Awareness Month, and the conversation tonight has been breast cancer in men. The prevalence may be low, but breast cancer is not a preserve of women. So men out there, be aware of how your chest feels and do not ignore any changes. Now that we are done with that conversation, but we still have items here to bring you up to speed on, and we take you to Nandi, where it was excitement galore as Kitwek FM, an affiliate of the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, celebrated its 12th anniversary. The radio station, which broadcast in Kalenjin, staged a show in Bomet County, where fans interacted with their favorite presenters and shared a cake to celebrate the more than a decade relationship. Tilio Marco with more.
Konoin area of Bomet County. It was song, dance and cake. Kitwek FM is celebrating 12 years of entertainment, education and connection with its legion of fans. Fans both male and female were visibly delighted to get a chance to mingle freely with their favorite presenters.
For the last 10 years, I've been listening to Kitwek, that is 98.0, that is from Bomet.
Not even the rains that pounded the area for the better part of the day could stop them. They can finally put faces to the voices they listen to every day on Kitwek FM.
Kitwek, we also have social media pages where you can also follow us. Tukona Kitwek FM official fan page. We have Twitter accounts, we have Instagram.
The FM station hopes to widen its coverage and reach all corners to unite the Kalenjin community spread out across the country.
Yes, we've been able to give programs to our audience that have enabled them to do very major things in their lives, especially in terms of farming. You know, Rift Valley is generally the bread basket of the country, the maize, you know, the tea, the coffee, the wheat and everything. And I think our farming programs have enabled our farmers to become better farmers.
Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
Mchezaji wa Loto Moto.
Mungu awabariki sana.
Ni wengi wanakushukuru bila hata wewe kufahamu.
Niliona Mungu wa ajabu ameshuka.
Ni wengi wanaokuaminia.
Imejaa, imebaki, yani I'm just happy.
Ni wengi wanaokuombea ushindi.
Hawa ndio niachiwe na mama yao wakati aligojeka kwa muda.
Ni wengi unaowagusa kwa kuwapa afueni na imani ya maisha.
Asante na Mungu akubariki pia.
Ni wengi unawatembelea.
Through hii program ndo tunajua vitu zingine.
Na imani yako inawapa amani.
Akaaga juu ya kansa.
Ushindi wako ni wa wengi.
Roma niendanga, Roma.
Asante mchezaji wa Loto Moto.
Yes, indeed, and a very good evening. Welcome to Sunday Express Sports. I'm Bernard Okumu. Let's start with the good news, where the national women's under-20 soccer team, Rising Starlets, defeated Angola by 6-1 in the first round of their women's under-20 World Cup qualifier played at Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi. The second leg will be held in Angola next weekend. Selo Nyango reports.
Valerie Nikisa scored a hat-trick, while Charity Midema scored a brace and Faith Naliaka added one to hand Kenya the emphatic win. The second leg of the qualifiers will be held in Angola on Saturday, with the winner advancing to the third round, where either Botswana or DRC Congo awaits.
Mimi nimefurahi sana kwa hiyo hat-trick, na nilikuwa nimetrust coach ndafunga mabao mengi, lakini hadi hiyo chance tatu kama imekata, nimefurahi kwa hiyo bao tatu.
It's good that they gave us the goals, it's good that they gave us the results, and we are confident that when we go to Luanda we shall also get goals. We shall play better because we have a few days to prepare again, to work on what did not go well, and to make the areas that worked well, to make them better.
The Under-20 Women's World Cup Finals is scheduled to be held in Colombia next year. For Sunday Express, I'm Sela Onyango.
Well done, Rising Starlets and Coach Beldino Demba there. And after years of trying, the Chana brothers, Jasmeet and Ravi Chana, have finally gotten their hands on the Kenya National Rally Championship title. With 2 rounds to spare, the Nairobi best siblings finished in second place on KMC Kajiado Rally in Ilbisil. Kajiado has scored Fabius Saman Vohra, savored the career best maiden KNRC victory. Saman, who was navigated by Alfir Khan in a Skoda Fabia Rally 2, clocked 1 hour 36.36 seconds to beat Mitsubishi Evolution's Chana to second, as Makreke Matthew sealed the podium dash. Jasmeet's feat means he is one of the few drivers in the country to win virtually all the categories of the KNRC, from Division 3, Division 2 wheel driver, Group N and Group S. The Chanas now join the growing list of Kenyan legends who have won the coveted National Rally title. And to swimming, where Joe Andrew, Aman Ladak and Michaela Savani were among today's winners of the Nairobi County Aquatic Association Level 2 Swimming Championship held at the Sabis International School. The 2-day event ended today and attracted over 300 swimmers from 32 schools.
Ladakh Amani took a time of 3 minutes, 2.87 seconds to finish first, ahead of Kanyenya Mohoro and Bogani Waswa, who took the second and third places respectively in the boys 14 to 15 years, 200 meters breaststroke.
I just had the distance events, which I think I performed well in. My coaches made us train like distance training, so we had that final push in us. So I think overall I performed well, and so did others from my team.
In the boys 12 to 13 years 200 meters breaststroke, Andrew Ogola emerged victorious ahead of Roshiro Fitali, who came in second.
I improved in my time in most of the stuff, and mostly reached position 1 in everything.
Michaela Savani also emerged victorious after bagging several victories in different categories she took part in.
I actually made a level 1 time and brought it to level 2, which was impressive for me. And I'm really hoping to win a medal in my 50 freestyle. I would be really happy if I win one.
In the boys category, Seahorses Aquatic Center emerged victorious with 21 medals, 14 gold, 6 silver and a bronze medal, as Kenton College took charge of the ladies category on 19 medals.
Vile Waswahili wanasema gari lazima itoke kwa garage, isukumwe itoke kwa garage, iangalie shida yake ni nini, so we can move ahead. So now the vehicle is running, now we can move ahead.
And Kenya esports gamer Eric Ngige partnered with France Soto to win the Maison Dumont tournament held in Paris, France. Gigeso of Senegal's Dax Jr. to emerge winner of the tournament that attracted players from 4 African countries. En route to the final, Eric Gige and Pixoto had mixed results, beating Senegal before losing to Nigeria through penalty shootout. However, Gige and his teammate dug deep to beat Ivory Coast in their final preliminary round clash, thus booking a slot in the final, where they again beat their West African opponents with a narrow 2-1 win to win the championship.
It feels amazing to win the Creative Africa Forum 2023. I played against the top players from the continent in Europe and in Africa. Yeah.
The Creative Africa Forum was a very good initiative for us in the esports community. We've gotten to network and we've gotten to show once again the skill that our player has. So you can see if he's going against the top, the best in the world, and he's doing very well. It shows that the future for esports in Kenya is bright.
The competition is the French government's initiative to bolster relations as well as create opportunities for the youth in emerging economies. And Tamara Saronge of Moi Educational Center and Ruben Gitao of All Saints Cathedral School were crowned champions of the Southlands Chess Tournament held at All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi. The All Saints School won the overall team title, having edged Ngao Chess Club, who settled for second position. More than 200 junior players competed in the one-day tournament.
Tamara Saronge and Ruben Gitao proved why they are the chess masters of the under 15 years category after they emerged the winners of the Southlands Chess Tournament held at All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi. The two won the top category in the one-day event that attracted more than 200 junior players. Angel Gilana of Tumaini School and Kwanza Njao won the under 13 years category, while Ethan Morimi of Valen School and Mary Boke of All Saints won the under 11 category. Tendai Jasiri of Zuri School and Zawadi Mudhoni took home the under 9 years title, as Talia Akinyi of Ngao Chess Club and Jaden Kingora of Title House Chess Club won the under 7 years category.
We have loved the way the children are enjoying playing the event, playing the chess tournament with a lot of fun, and more so, dedicating their time and knowing the rules of the game. I want to appreciate the coaches at the background who are doing a great job for ensuring that children come to tournaments like this while they are well prepared.
Host All Saints Cathedral School won the overall title as Ngao Chess Club settled for the runners-up trophy.
This is what we've been dreaming about when chess is being played. Right now we have 3 major tournaments in Nairobi, and it's all packed with 300 plus students. Our vision is like now, if Nairobi West can hold a tournament, Umoja can hold a tournament, Eastlands, that is the vision that we have, so that chess is spread in all the schools around.
More than 200 juniors players competed in the event. For Sunday Express, I'm Sila Onyango.
Yes, indeed. And for the game to grow, it has to be played all over the country. And now to European football, in this case, English Premier League, where Captain Lewis Dunk scored a dramatic equalizer for Brighton to deny Jurgen Klopp 3 points on his 8th anniversary as Liverpool manager. Meanwhile, Mohamed Kudus' 89th minute goal secured a point for West Ham after a 2-2 draw with Newcastle.
Slow on the uptake, and the Dingra nips in, sees the goal and takes advantage. Well, the Dingra makes merry, but for the returning McAllister, that was a horror moment.
It's going to be a game of big chances, really.
Here's Szoboszlai. Now Diaz turns away from Dunk. Nunez, good football from Liverpool. Salah! Well, wisely left by Harvey Elliott, and Salah comes in to level it for Liverpool. That's Martin Bruggen, that was brave but foolish perhaps. Might still fall for Luis Diaz, penalty given. Trying to make himself look big to try and unsettle Mo Salah, whose penalty record is checkered. Salah puts this one away, and he, on his own, has turned this around for Liverpool in the last 5 minutes of the half. March, who delivers with the kick, and it's in! Liverpool stunned by the Brighton captain, Lewis.
Yes, indeed, and as the story was running about Liverpool drawing with Brighton 2-2, Regina Manyara was asking me, why am I just seeing a scroll of the result between Arsenal and Manchester City? Indeed, Arsenal did win 1-0 in that particular encounter, and this emphatic win moves Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's boys, to second position on the log, just on goal difference, by the way, with the table toppers, Tottenham, who went up yesterday after beating Luton Town by a goal to 0. Regina.
Well, when it comes to Arsenal, Bernard, they are doing very well. However, can they keep up with the momentum? That's the main question.
Yeah,
if I was an Arsenal fan, which I'm not, but can they keep up with the momentum?
That can only be answered in May 2024 at the conclusion of the season.
Trust me, we'll be here.
Yes, indeed.
We'll be here. I highly doubt, but we'll be here.
Yes.
Classic example, the last league and how they played. Very well, towards the end, they lost the plot. Well,
yeah, but sometimes when you go so much behind in history, you lose memory.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sets the cap on Sunday Express tonight, and I personally wish you a great week ahead, and enjoy your viewing.
Yes, indeed, and thank you so much for watching Sunday Express today. I wish you a great night and also a great week ahead.
This is the fund that is going to equalize all the people of Kenya so that every citizen can know that they matter and they count as a citizen of the Republic of Kenya.
Mara yangu ya kwanza kusikia Hustler Fund, tulienda kwa public participation Kisumu, ambayo iliitwa na Regional County Commissioner kusensitize watu juu ya Hustler Fund. Kwa hivyo